Alrighty, hello everybody. So Polytopia just got an update. The Cymanti tribe was reworked a little bit, as was promised by the developers. So I'm going to go through the changes that have been made. These are not hard, fast changes. They could change just because this update is still in beta. We're going to go through that, and then I'm going to actually play a game with all of the changes, and we're going to see how it's working out. So, to go through some of the changes, let me skip through here. Okay, so algae. Algae is one of the first big changes that was made. So you get it in fishing, and instead of it being almost like a structure in the way that it used to be, you would build it on a tile, and then it would be a structure, and it would give you a population and all of that. Instead, it's more of a tile effect. In fact, I think that's, yeah, tile effect is actually what it's called in the release notes. So it's gonna be more like a tile effect, like the flooded for Aquarian. So you can actually build stuff on it now. So instead of it being, okay, it's a structure on its own, that's it, it takes up the entire tile. It just changes the way that the tile looks and alters a few other things that the tile itself can do. You can still build stuff on it. They also removed it giving you a population as soon as you build it. Instead, as soon as you I don't know, enable the effect, um, it will create a, what is it called? A fruit. It'll put a fruit on the tile. So instead of giving you an immediate one population to whatever city it's built in, it'll create a fruit, and then you can collect that fruit if you have the organization technology researched. Let's see what's next. Okay, so the Raichi has been changed. So the Raichi is still there, but also now the Boomchi is there. And all of the way that they put it here, all the explosive abilities of the Raichis have been removed and put into the Boomchi. You can see here, I don't think I can make the image bigger. Over here, this is what the Boomchi looks like, and we'll hopefully be able to take a look at it in game as well. It costs 5 stars. It has 10 health, 3 attack, 3 defense, 2 movement, no range, and it can explode, can't attack after moving, and it can become a veteran. And it's mostly a water one. I think later on they mention how amphibious units can go on land, but they get major debuffs from what I recall. And then the updated Raichi is over here. It no longer has explode. I forget some of the other things that Raichi used to have. I don't generally play Cymanti, so I don't really know. But this is the updated Raichi here. They also have a new unit called the Living Island. You can view that here. It's very similar to the Juggernauts on the from the other tribes. So when you have a giant and you move onto water, you get a Juggernaut. It moves, or I'm sorry, when it moves, it deals damage. It's pretty powerful on water. So this is basically the Cymanti Juggernaut. So as it moves, it deals damage and spawns algae, from what it sounds like, which is pretty cool. So it's got 20 health. It cannot become a veteran because giants can't become veteran, and this is basically a giant, but on the water for Cymanti. Got 4 attack. It looks like 4 defense. I don't know why this says it's already boosted. Maybe that's with like if you have the water research that gives you defense on ocean. Maybe that's what's boosting it there. 2 movement and 1 range. Says the Clathrus is now a land buildings that work off of fungi, not algae. I never really used the Clathrus, so I don't really know a whole lot about that. So we'll have to figure that out as we play. Okay, so other things. Fungi are now limited to 2 levels. But the recycling tech adds the microbes ability, which unlocks a 3rd level. That's interesting. Creep no longer negates terrain movement penalty of mountains. And the chiton now has creep. Okay. Poison defense debuff was increased to 50%, but the defense bonuses are intact. Poison also now slows down units. So if you poison enemy units, they get slowed down. The Dumux can no longer become a veteran. And its attack has also been brought down, but it can explode after attacking. That goes for all explosive units. The Swordsman has been removed for Cymanti, and now you have a new unit, the Mantis. They say it's ultimately the same thing as the Swordsman, but it has creep. Yeah, so it can become a veteran. It costs 5 stars, 15 health, 3 attack, 3 defense, 1 movement, 1 range. Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. This one, when I was reading through these earlier, actually was something that I was kind of excited for. So the cloak, for Cymanti only, has been replaced with the moth. So it's basically a cloak, but it has a few different things that it does. So first off, it can fly, which I don't really think changes anything in game, but they mention it, so I figured I'd mention it. They also don't spawn daggers during the infiltration stage, but they poison the city's defenses and lay eggs. So these eggs, okay, so here's the moth. Got 5 health, just like the cloak. Excuse me. 1 attack, half defense, 2 movement, and 1 range. And poison, infiltrate, hide, and dash. When it infiltrates, it lays eggs over here, which can somehow become veterans. Have 2 attack, 3 defense, no movement, and no range. So they cannot move. Apparently they can't explode, but after a single turn, they hatch into larvae, which are much closer to the daggers. So they have dash, creep, surprise, independent, static, and grow. We'll talk about the grow here in a second. They have 10 health, 2 attack, 2 defense, 1 movement, and 1 range. So it's your larva. I'm sorry, your dagger, because it's got that surprise, right? So it can attack, and then they can't be attacked back. However, after 3 additional turns, after the larva has hatched, it will grow using that grow ability. It will grow into another moth. And then that moth can go in and it can infiltrate. You get more eggs, you get more larvae, and the cycle continues, which I think is really cool. It's a bug. That's the way bugs work. So I'm excited to try out the moths as well. The shaman has received a few changes. The boosts has been renamed to swarm. And it no longer gives a damage bonus, just a movement bonus. And the shaman has been moved to the meditation. So it's been moved down 1, because I believe it was up here before, but now it's on this one, on the tier 2 of the climbing line. Where was I? Under moths. Okay, here we go. Yes. That's also the meditation tech has been renamed as rituals. Mountain Temple has been moved to philosophy, which is now mysticism. They also say that the Cymanti aren't too big into being pacifists, so the pacifist task is replaced with converter task. So they get the Church of Converts. I believe that's a monument. Excuse me, it's a monument. They have to convert 3 enemies instead of the not the old, it's still the pacifist task of not attacking anybody for 5 turns. So Cymanti now converts people in order to get the Church of Church of Converts monument. And then another deal for growing units. This is, I believe it includes the moth, larva, eggs, all of that stuff, as well as dragons for Elrion. They inherit damage from their previous form. So if we'll go with Elrion, for example. So if a baby dragon has 5 damage on it, and it grows up into a full dragon, it will still retain that 5 damage to its health. So as they grow, they don't just get all of their health back. According to the developer notes here, that is all of the changes. If you want to test it out, it is on Steam. You just go into betas, put in Polytopia playtest, and you can join in on the beta testing. So now we're going to switch over to the game here. Give me a moment. Okay. I have not played this at all. Like the rework of Cymanti, I have not tried it out at all. I was kind of waiting until I could make a recording for it. So we'll go ahead and do there. I want to do creative here. We're going to do Cymanti. Let's do normal. We'll do 2 opponents. Don't want to make the game too terribly long. Do a large map. Alright, first off the bat here, Rituals has the Shaman and the Converter task. So you get the Church of the Converts by converting 3 enemies, just like we went over. Algae is here. It adds a fruit on that tile. Okay, and then you'd need this. Recycling adds microbes. Your fungi can grow an additional level. It looks like that's just automatically applied to everything. So that kind of boosts the need, not the need, but maybe the desire to go for recycling. Because to be honest, whenever I would play Cymanti, I would never really go for recycling because I never really cared. Okay, so the way that I usually do this is I move the shaman off, I get a fungi, and then next turn, this turn, I just get a warrior and I boost him. Or, of course, I guess it's swarm now. Boost. So, they now have the speedy effect added because it no longer boosts their attack, just their movement. And this is not going to grow anymore. It's at its max level until we research cycling and get the microbes. Something I'm curious, before when you would boost with the shaman, it would be removed once they performed an action. Whether it was an attack, whether it was capturing a city, discovering a ruin, it would remove that buff. So I'm curious to see if it's going to remove the speedy buff by capturing that city. It does not, so it's more or less a permanent buff, at least as far as I know now. Alright, so we're going to do another fungi here. And then we're going to start down the climbing. That lets me extra exploration. Six. Okay, so he still got it. He still has the speedy thing. Okay. Actually really nice. Alright, so a few things I want. I want hunting and archery and riding. So I'll use the riders to explore. That's kind of my thing. Or I'm sorry, the hexapods. They're not riders. I use the hexapods to explore. I boost them, and then they don't really attack. I just kind of send them out to explore while other units can do the fighting and city capturing and all of that stuff. Now we need fishing. City. So far, not an incredible amount of changes. I'm liking the fact that the buff is more or less permanent. It's not like disappearing when they perform an action. Let's do... Want sailing. Oh, and I want to try the Boomchi. And the Living Island. But I also want this rituals. So let's use the price of all technology. That's funny. Let's... Oh, and I want this. Okay, so much to do. Okay. Let's get sailing. We'll just get on the water right away. Laris is in here. That's going to be fun. Okay, so this... Okay. Gonna get a fungi. Raichi is only 5. Raichi 2, break the ice. And we have 11, so nothing. Okay, so I'm gonna research rituals. Mostly because I want another shaman. City. In fact, we'll even upgrade this city. We'll throw an algae there. So I'm pretty sure these guys can walk on the algae. Send them that direction. Guys boost each other. Yep, he can still move on the algae, which is good. Psyche and another Raichi. Guess a Psyche over here. Still, he can't break ice at that point. Okay, we're gonna get mysticism, which makes everything cheaper, and see about this living island guy. 20 stars, that's a ton. Wow. So what I would like to convert one of these guys, but it'd be kind of hard. Since they're freezing all of my peeps. Alright, let's get the Boom Chi. And we'll take Aquatism. Well, since this is a water one. All right, let's get the boom. Ow! Got a ton of those guys already, and he just is killing my creeps. Fun. Ooh, we can get a living island. Uses like all of our stars, but that works. Yep. It deals damage and creates an algae. Yeah, a bunch of our people are just frozen. Gotta wait. Now almost all of our people are frozen. Not, can still move. Oh, yeah, break the ice. Every tile it moves across, it creates algae. That's fun. I'm actually going to use this hexapod for attacking. Because I need somebody to get in there fast to destroy these guys. I know I should be focused on him, but I'm not going to be able to kill him. We'll just take him after he takes the city. Grab organization, and we'll go ahead and take recycling. So that should make the algae here up to level 3. Who can move? Oh, you can move. Somebody else can move. Who else can move? Ice. I don't want any ice. Polaris is getting real big real fast. I don't like it. Do anything. Man. Yeah, I'm going to research strategy because I want a defender. Nobody else can break ice? Alright. Alright, somebody... Oh, it's this guy. Never mind. We'll throw another fun guy in there just for funs. Gotta fight a war on two fronts. Rain? What did that do? Now it's ice? Huh. That's new. Right. I'm not very good at playing Cymanti, so if it looks like I'm struggling, it's because I'm actually struggling. That is so cool. I'm getting sidetracked. We need to be testing out different things. Okay, so the Dumex is still there. Constructions of embassies in foreign capital. Oh, alright, so let's get the moths. See if we can try out a few of them. Just as a defensive precaution, we're going to throw it on here. A little bit more, and we're going to swarm this moth. I don't want him to heal. All right, who else has got stuff left? Upgrade this city next turn. We're good. Go for shock tactics. That'll help if we can get a Doom or two out there. Okay, so their attack has been brought down to 3.5. I don't remember what it was before. Yeah. Good for Dumux. Okay, so we got a speedy shaman. Bring him up here to maybe help out. Okay, so I want to try out the moth. We're going to infect here. But poisons whoever's there. I didn't see eggs get. Swarm these guys and swarm that Dumux. So weird that the water has drain that then turns it to ice. And they had that explode after attacking. Oh, there goes a living island. Okay, so there are some eggs. I got 2. I don't know why I didn't get any over here. Well, let's test out the Boonchi. This will grow larva at the end of this turn. Can't do anything, but they can explode and drain. I want them to drain. It's strange that that's a thing. Keep them around. I clicked that fast, but that was... I should have been the Church of Converts. There. It can move now. Because we increased its movement by 1. Oh, that's interesting. See, they can't normally move. They have 0 movement. But if you boost it with a shaman, you can move them. That's pretty cool. Okay, can the Boomchi attack? Maybe not. Some more moths. I want to try out some more of these. And then let's go... Oh, wait, we've got a new guy down here, Mantis. Forgot about that. There's the larva. Ah, he goes back on. Okay, so start taking his people. Dash, creep, surprise, independent, static, grow. Will grow to moth in 2 turns. As long as it's not killed. Dumux can no longer become a veteran. I remember that now. And can the Boomchi only explode? I need more attacking units. And then... Oh, I can't research that. Okay, we're actually going to go for Smithery to get that Mantis. Yeah, I'm struggling pretty bad here. Okay, so now we can get the smithery. Okay, 9, which means we should be able to get a mantis. Alright, I'm actually going to risk making somebody over here a mantis. And they became moths, look at that. That's cool. And now they're gone. Cool while they lasted. Okay. Get this guy in here. I really need more peeps. More bugs. Okay, give me 1 second. I will be right back. We really need to just start throwing out like a ton of bugs. I feel like that's really the only way we're going to be able to overcome at least Polaris. I mean, these... who is that? Imperius? Imperius is easy. It's Polaris that's really going slow. Just wanted some exploration. I know he's gonna die. Alright, well, I guess we'll do a gate of power or something. Upgrade this guy. Let's see if we can't actually get somebody else's. Should be able to connect out to that algae. Whatever. So the fungi causes poison when enemy units go over it. That's why I'm throwing it in there. Oh, it looks like after they attack, they do lose the speed boost. So they keep it up until they're attacked. Other actions, you don't lose it for anymore. But attacking remains. Alright, we're starting to beat him back now. Actually, I want more Raichi. Use the waterways to our advantage. Fish. Make algae. Send in. Alright. He still has speedy, so maybe it's when they're attacked rather than when they attack. Alright, we've won. We've won. There's... I mean, we've got Cymanti... I'm sorry, we've got Polaris on the ropes here. No, we need the ice there. I'm actually, instead of taking a workshop like I normally do, I'm just going to take an explorer. Just to see what's going on. Right. Some more here to give us another centipede. Yeah, it's when they attack because it just lost the speedy. with a turn. Alright, Polaris is gone. We can get another living island. We can get troops all over the place. Are there any units that we didn't try? The Exkita has always been there. Didn't change that. I think we've tried all of the units. Not terrible. There we go. Okay, Polaris is gone. Should have poisoned it first, but you know. Okay. Actually gonna stick it right here. Harvest the fruit. Mycelium. Kill some people for us. Alright, here we go. Only a couple more turns. We've really got him whittled down if the turns are taken that fast now. that's it. All right, all in all, not bad. I think the moths are so cool with the infiltrate that it makes the eggs that become the larva and then more moths. I'm pretty sure this is like second generation moth. I didn't buy, if you will, this moth. I purchased a moth somewhere over here, and then it infiltrated a city, and then the larva became this moth. I think that's cool. Yeah, living islands are pretty neat. The boom chi, other than the boom chi exploding, I didn't really see a need for the boom chi. Um, yeah, they can't attack. They have a range of 0. I guess their explode is pretty decent. But they can become a veteran, so I guess they could become a veteran from defending. They can't attack. I don't know. Yeah. Um, the speed boost updates are nice. I did enjoy them having also a damage increase from being boosted, but I get why that was changed. That's yeah. All in all, pretty good update. I like it. Um, so yeah, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see y'all in the next one.